Hey, good afternoon to the world of the automotive aftermarket. Karin Capriato, Aftermarket Weekly. We are live. It is Tuesday, episode 72. It's going to be a really good episode, everyone. Glad to have you all here. Don't forget that what we do here on the podcasts, all of the podcasts that we do, this is really your best kept secret to personal networking. And there's so much going on. I mean, a lot of stuff going on. I can't wait to tell you about everything. We're going to have a great show here today. With me in the guest host seat is Michael Galini from Your Auto. I'm sorry.
Your Auto. Yep.
I always say that wrong, Michael. Every time it's the European thing. It's Your Auto Shop in Plano, Texas. Good to have you here, my friend.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited about this one.
Good. And Christy Hudson is here. Hi, Christy.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Troy Auto Care, Troy, Michigan, a little north of Detroit, right?
Yes.
Beautiful Napa Auto Care Center there. Look at that. Well, her husband Donnie has been on the show in the past, and now we get a chance to look inside of Christy's place.
Yes.
Now you got a third one coming. Rumor has it.
We do. We have Troy Auto and Truck. So that will be our third location. We are renovating that one as we speak. We just got that one in June.
Good for you. Grow. Hey, if you're with us on social media, thanks for hanging out, by the way. Check in with your city. Give us a like. You may have a question or a comment on any of my guests, what we're talking about here today. Appreciate that. And even share this with your friends. And look even if you're watching this later in the day, just do the duty here. You can continue to do some comments. And listen, our partner is Dorman, and they're the ones who bring you this great show. And we're coming to you live from the Dorman OE Fix Studios. Hey, this weekend, actually Thursday, Tracy and I are taking off, and we're heading down to ASTE in Cray, North Carolina, sponsored by the Independent Garage Owners of North Carolina. And here's some pictures of last time we were there, 2019, moderating a panel. I'm also moderating another great panel this year. Going to have the studio. I have got a full schedule of interviews that, of course, we'll take away, and then we'll publish probably through the fall time of these great interviews. And I got my ASTE shirt on. So if you're going to be at ASTE, please stop by, say hi. I've met so many incredible people at all these great conferences, and I know Tricia Sauls does one hell of a job down there. We appreciate all that she does for building this great conference out in the Southeast. Hey, we want to thank Dorman. Hey, we all know that fixing cars is different than how the OE builds them. Now, take fuel lines, for instance. Fuel lines run and rust along with the chassis of the vehicle by nature. Now, especially in the colder months, trucks can be exposed to snow, salt, or rain, causing failure due to the corroded fittings, deterioration in the line. Now, to help you in your wallet, Dorman Products' team of engineers have redesigned the typical fuel line. Introducing Dorman's flexible stainless steel braided fuel lines. Made from braided stainless steel over flexible PTFE tubing, this upgraded material features a corrosion-resistant design. Each fuel line is an exact fit with the dimensions of each application. Now, improved durability is the highlight of this new design. This innovation is a Dorman OE fix, which means it's something that the original manufacturer doesn't offer. These fuel lines are quality assured and backed by their team of product experts and more than a century of automotive experience. Hey, want to learn more about Dorman's innovations? Visit dormanproducts.com/tour. Hey, you know what I forgot to say? And you know what I forgot to say in the beginning of the show, Michael?
What's that?
What you're going to talk about today.
Customer supplied parts.
Oh, man. Controversy. Actually, it shouldn't be at all. But
no, it really shouldn't be, but it is.
Michael's going to talk about that in a minute. Hey, this Friday, go to my website if you want to ever listen to anything more that Michael or Christy has done, and type in Michael Galini and or search for Christy Hudson or her husband, Donnie Hudson, on the search lines, and listen to anything else that we've done with them. This Friday, the Town Hall Academy, really good Town Hall Academy coming up, is the courage to make tough decisions. I know what these ladies are going to talk about. It is it's going to be an incredible show. It's going to be broadcast Friday at noon, as we always do with the Town Hall Academies. That'll be episode 243. Okay, Michael, let's hammer it, baby. And Christy, just be with us here. It's all about customer supplied parts, and of course, you must do that for customers every hour of every day, right, Michael?
No, absolutely not. It's been something that's really backed us into a couple corners, and the discussions are hard about it because there's a lot of people that just plain flat don't understand the liability, and not just the liability behind it, but the problems that come with it. I have a transfer case story that I could go on and on and on about, and first of all, there's no money to be made in it. As much as I hate to say it, there really isn't. But more than anything is just trying to explain to somebody the importance of quality of parts. And, we get it all the time. Well, I can get that part off of Amazon for this. I'm not installing it. I'm plain flat. I'm not going to install a part off of Amazon. I don't care if it's, the same brand of what I'm getting. There's going to be a quality control issue with it. So we've just gotten completely out of doing customer supplied parts. Now I will make an exception when we do a lot of aftermarket high performance stuff, such as exhaust, and I'll allow a customer to do something like that. But once again, it gets, preached to them that just because you're supplying the part does not mean that this part is going to fit the exact way that the factory part's going to work. But you'd be surprised with some of the kickback that we get from doing stuff like that.
Michael, what's the strongest discussion point when you're making the case to the customer?
Warranty. I mean, how do you warranty your part? How do you warranty their part, but not only warranting their part, the labor side of it? We're not in the business of installing stuff for free, and that's the one thing that I tell them is the reality of it is if we purchase the part and we install it or it doesn't fit correctly, we have the ability of going back to our vendors and saying, hey, there's an issue with this, and we get paid the labor side of it. I don't know any customer that ever wants to pay twice to have something installed or to pay to have whatever they put on their vehicle not perform or work as the factory part or something that you would supply. So that's our number one challenge with it.
I can't believe, Michael, that I could go online and buy something that you don't think is genuine and of good quality, and that the person that I bought it from won't stand behind it if it goes bad. I mean, there's a great line back at you.
When you figure that out, please let me know, Carm. Like, what is the end all, solve all, and what it is that we're doing wrong? Because it's every single time. I see Christy over there. You're snickering. So I have to ask you, what's your thoughts of customer supplied parts?
We do not do customer supplied parts. Basically, I equate it to two things. The first is if I can't find a part, I will put it on for them with 0 warranty. If that part has to come off, they have to pay me labor again. It's all documented. When they continue to argue they want to bring it in, I tell them it's like going to the restaurant. I can't take my own food in and ask them to cook it for me.
Listen, guys, I think there's a couple of things you just brought up. You don't take your bacon and eggs to the restaurant and ask them to cook it for you. And I've been hearing a little my ear to the ground that is a terrible excuse to give to a customer, but it's probably the easiest analogy to give, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I will tell a customer that exact same thing. You don't walk into a steakhouse with your own steak and tell them how to cook it. So why are you going to come to me and tell me that I'm going to install your part?
But Michael, do they get pissed when you say that?
I don't know, because the way I look at it is it's the best terminology and the best way to explain it. Other than just, almost being rude about it. And I'm not a rude person. I'm not a rude person that's going to come and just be like, no, I'm not going to do it. I at least want to try to explain my theory or my reasons of why we're not going to do it. But once again, it's almost like it's an argument every single time.
Okay, guys, let me take this to another plateau. There's so much discussion going on about transparent pricing and the access to what does a part really cost, because you can buy anything at any time from anyone at any price level in the world. That's what e-commerce is today. And there has been discussion among shop owners, among coaches. I don't think it has landed yet. I don't think it's becoming a great practice But if I could sell a part at a very low margin, now I've got to boost my labor where maybe your $130 labor rate is now, 210 because you've got to make up that profit. You cannot sacrifice the profit that has put you in the position that you are of a solid, successful company. Would that then take, if we ever change the way we mark up parts, would that take some of the burn and the people lined up with their own parts, Michael?
I don't necessarily think so, and the reason being is, I've always said this. I feel like the automotive industry is almost tainted in a way. So when you have to change something like that, you have to inflate your labor rate.
Yeah.
You're just a mechanic, you're just a technician, you're just a shop, and I think the value to it. I don't think that bringing that margin down, justifies still doing it. It just, to me, it doesn't anyways. I mean, we're a business. Ultimately, we're shop owners. We want to be successful. Who doesn't want to be successful? So no.
And to your point, and Christy, chime in anytime. So many shop owners says it's a non-factor. I don't care about transparent pricing. I don't care what they could buy it for. I've got great customers. They love me. They trust me. They drop their keys. We've been here for years. We have a great culture. We have relationships. Why does all that stuff matter? I hear that all the time. And you know what? It's great to hear, because that means we have really elevated our industry as a profession.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
So, do people understand the liability side when you say, hey, listen, you take me to small claims court someday and I lose, it just doesn't matter. I lose. The judge is going to say, you put it on, you stand behind it.
I think, so to that argument, I think one of the things that we see more often is the reality of it is they don't care. They really don't care. And if, for us anyways, if we're dealing with somebody like that, it's usually probably not the best fit for us as a company.
Right.
There's going to be somebody next door that's going to install a part for you. Go let them do it, because that's not the customer that I want. It's the reality of it is it's not the customer that I want.
Well, I think that's the kicker right here. I mean, if you want to sum up this discussion,
it's the easiest way of doing it.
They're just not your customer, Michael, right?
Absolutely.
And Christy, I walk in and, I says, hey, listen, I got a code from the store down the road, and I went out, I bought an oxygen sensor from them. Can you put it in? What if they were a long-term customer? How would you feel?
I've had that situation, and basically we sit them down and we politely in the beginning explain A, the liability, B, there'll be no warranty, even if they go buy that part from Napa. I didn't buy it, so it's not covered under my warranty.
Yeah.
And then when I explain it all to them, a lot of times they said, look, that place will take that part back. I'll sell you a part with a warranty. It's going to be a nationwide warranty. My guy's covered. If anything happens while he's installing it, when you leave, I explain the liability aspect. And then if they don't understand, then we bring in the restaurant. But typically they understand and they're good with it. And if they don't, then I tell them there's definitely places around here. I don't know who they are, but they're there and they'll install your parts.
I feel a good customer is always going to understand that. The one thing that I always use is, if I use a friend for business, I don't ask for a discount. I don't ask for him to make an exception for, for anything that they're going to do, because I want everybody to be successful. And I'm with you, Christy. I feel like a good customer is going to understand it most of the time. And I would I'd be curious to see what the percentage of new customers versus existing customers come in and ask you to install a customer supplied part. I feel like for the most part, it's people calling on the phone to ask, hey, will you install my brakes? No, I'm not going to install your brakes. There's no way I'm going to install your brakes. I think that's one of my favorite is brakes and tires. Will you install my customer supply brakes? No, I'm not going to do that. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do it. So
I just had a story to tell. The refrigerator the ice maker went on our refrigerator. And I YouTubed and I looked around and it took a long time to figure out what ice maker to go out and try to buy because there were different models and applications. And if I went to a repair place, they would have just got it, come in and installed it. I would have never thought to call the appliance repair place down the road and ask them to install it. I would have never, ever thought to do it. So maybe I guess it's me. And I look at my landscaper. I don't ask, I don't say, could you come over and cut the grass with my lawnmower? Right?
I'm going to ask my guy that.
And the guy that paints the occasional rooms in my house or the outside of my house says, listen, I just bought a 5-gallon pail of paint. Would you come over and put this on my house? I mean, if you maybe there's some better analogies instead of you wouldn't take your steak to a restaurant and ask them to cook it.
Maybe I never thought about the lawnmower one. I think that's what I'm going to use that for my next analogy. The next time a customer asks me and be like, well, I don't ask my lawn service to use my lawnmower and my weed eater. So
yeah, Jonathan, John Sandelur, is it Jonathan Sandifer? Jonathan brings up a great point. I got the code from the parts store. It tells me to do the O2 sensor. It comes to my place. I put it in, and it really didn't solve the problem because all they were telling you is, is the zip code, not the actual address of the problem of the part. And everybody thinks it's just so easy. Go get a code and buy the part and solve the problem. Well, look at great dialogue. Thank you. I like to have these discussions on occasion because I think it actually drops some reality. It drops some reality in our laps. So, hey, look at we had some great episodes, guys. Let me tell you what. Hey. You can't miss these 3 episodes from this week. Today, Succession Planning Blueprint, OMG, with Brian Stash. It's great. You got to get a yellow pad out and write that completely out. Job expectations, boomers versus millennials. Sarah Frazier's a millennial. Bill Haas is a boomer, and they didn't go at it. But we actually brought up so many great points of how best to employ and understand and develop millennials. It was great. And then we had the virtual Q&A with Chris Chesney that came out last Thursday. And it was great. It was Chris retired, and he talked about a lot of the legacy stuff. So there were 3 shop owners asking Chris all kinds of questions. So you can't miss them episodes. They were great. Well, I can't wait. We're going out to Troy, Michigan, and Christy Hudson. Go ahead, Christy.
So this is our second location, Troy Auto Care 2. This is my shop. It's going to be a 13-bay repair center. We do trucks and automotives. We do a lot of heavy stuff. As far as RVs, big box trucks, different fleet accounts.
So this is your second store, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
We got this one in December 2018.
December 2018. And this is your baby, right? Donnie runs the other store, and you're running this store.
This is
and it looks like it's a Napa Auto Care Center. How many bays again?
13.
Wow.
So that's our key pickup for after hours. We give them a code, and they put the code in, and their key pops out.
I have to tell you something. Stop the video for a moment. It's amazing with 13 bays. I never saw 2 key containers together. And when you stop and think about it, it's a busy shop. So that's why you have to have that many. Okay, great.
So we're just off the main road. So nobody really sees the front right here of my building. They see where we started, which is that back sign. But when you come in, we have our little customer write-up area. We are very into seasonal. So we like to decorate for all the seasons.
Cool.
If you were there, you would smell the scents of the season.
Now wait a minute. Are you telling me that pumpkin spice is the flavor of the day?
It is. We also have pumpkin spice cappuccino available for you.
Oh, that's a
So,
beautiful. That looks like you got the Napa treatment there, huh?
yes. So I do need to give a shout out to Jason Rainey and the Napa Auto Care team in Atlanta, because without their help and support, this shop would not be what it is today. I had a lot of guidance and help.
Wow.
So that's my newest service writer, Haley. She's still in training with us.
Very nice, very professional, very clean. It looks like you have a separate room for the customer wait area.
We do, and I love that. It has a door that closes, so we leave it open. But then, like during the pandemic, I would have customers come and ask to use that for Zoom calls because it was quiet. And then over here, we have our beverage area with our cappuccino, coffee, snacks, water.
Let's stop that video for a moment. I loved the sign that said play. That looks like you had some kid stuff there, right?
Yes.
And then you have this sign called refresh. It is, you don't need to see that to know that there's a coffee machine and I can get waters and stuff. But I love the references to what you're doing for your customer.
And that's actually part of the Napa Interior Pro image. So above the workstation bar I had, it says charge, because all throughout all of our furniture has built-in chargers, even the little
Wow.
coffee tables. And when we go back out front behind the one service desk, you'll see the service sign.
Okay, cool. Very nice.
So here's our wonderful bathroom, because we have to show that. So
Is the seat down? Yes, it is. Okay.
it better be. So there's our service desks for my two service writers. I tend to work up here. I like to be up front with the girls. That way I can be there if needed.
Okay, Christy, you said the girls.
Yes.
So is it an all-girl operation?
So yes, at my location, and then actually at the original one, we have all girls on the front. None of them come to me with the knowledge, but I find that I have nothing wrong with a male service advisor. We have some at our new location, but I found that it's easy for me to teach people about cars, but I can't teach empathy, compassion. I can't teach friendliness, and not saying all girls have it, but a lot of them I get do. My two that I have at my shop right now, Caitlin and Haley, both come from the medical field, and they are two of the sweetest girls that you'll ever meet. And Caitlin's actually my service manager for all three shops. She's been with me 4 years.
Wow.
And she now has quite the knowledge base about cars also.
That's a great strategy that the Hudsons have there. I like that.
So this is where we dispatch all of our work to our technicians, and then we separate. Once it comes up, it's waiting on approval. It gets moved over, waiting on parts here. So basically, I just have to look at their boxes, because we have a system where they'll flip what they're working on. I know what's going on in the back without walking back there. This is my actual office. I tend not to use it. It is the one room I have yet to repaint, and the red would be why I don't like that one. It's just
Let me ask you a question about the layout. Did you guys buy a going place, or did you build this from scratch?
No. So this was an existing auto care when we bought it. It was a business that had been in business for many years. They had actually done an addition. They were looking to get out. We wanted to get in. So we purchased this and then started fresh.
Seems like it's laid out really smart. Is this a employee room?
So this is our break room / kitchen. We did all this ourselves, Donnie and I. We put the kitchen in. We also supply food for them.
I'm hungry.
My technicians, when they come in, they can have breakfast, lunch on us if there's things they want. They can request stuff. That way they're more productive. They're happier. They're not wasting money. They don't have to go out and buy lunch every day. And The one thing we don't have is storage, so it doubles as a storage room. This is our brake storage. So they get to eat lunch looking at
Interesting.
brakes.
Stop the video for a moment, Michael. You wouldn't stock that level of disc pads and rotors, would you?
We don't, and the reason we don't is because to do something like that, the amount of inventory that we would need would be crazy.
Yeah, and Christy, so these must be like super top movers, or are they to supply and support fleets?
No, this is my fleet brakes are actually in the back for all my big trucks. This is all my top movers.
Okay.
But a couple of my accounts I have. I mean, we do quite a few brake jobs every day. So there's
Sure.
a lot of brakes up there where I'll go through 2 or 3 of the same number in one day.
I haven't seen a belt and or a brake or rotor inventory like that in a while. So listen, I don't think you'd have it invested if it wasn't working for you.
Right. And then my salesperson does come out, and every few months we actually run reports and we adjust my inventory to what I need. So this is my locker room for my guys. They have their own bathroom. You'll notice the seat is also down. They know I check it, so. And they also get pumpkin spice soap in their bathroom, so they smell good too. Now we're going into the front of my shop. So we set up the shop to be as practical as possible in the very front. This is where our incoming parts go. So parts dropped off, they get broken up for the guys. The sticky notes have the parts on them and they're coded per technician. So they just walk up, they know what parts are theirs, they grab them and they go to their job. Then I think we're going to go right behind that next. So right behind that is going to be my road force balancer for tires and my tire machine. The bay just on the other side of the parts is where we do the majority of our tires, obviously. So I apologize. Right now it had high-low because there's a rear axle sitting there, I believe. But
Well, that's nice to have a little forklift there.
yeah. So now when we come up to the front area, we have to find storage wherever we can. So cabinets are great for us because they don't take up any space.
Yeah.
My bays are basically broke up by technician. Each one gets a minimum of 2 right now. So again, a lot of the stuff we do, my customers want it back like yesterday. There's the back of our Porta-Cool for the guys. Keep them cool in the summer.
So let me ask you a question. You just said, well, our customers want it right away. Have you been slowing that promise time down to your customers at all?
Some of them, yes. My fleet accounts, we have a
It's a
fleet of
different
tow trucks.
story.
Yeah, we have
yeah.
a fleet of tow trucks here. I know what it's like to have a truck down.
Yeah.
So my fleet accounts, and we have some major ones with some big hospitals around here. We push them in and out as fast as possible for all my fleets. My regular customers have been understanding because you can't complain, but it's been crazy. So, we just are honest with people on parts availability when we can't get it.
Yeah.
And hey, we're busy. It's going to be a little bit, and they've been pretty understanding. So
Good. Okay.
Do your same technicians work on your fleet vehicles as well?
Some of them do. It depends on the fleet. So some of my fleets are like cars. We'll get towards the back. I have a diesel specialist who also does big heavy stuff, Lawrence. He does a lot of the big fleets. So that's basically all he does. And then if he's slow on that, we'll give him something else. So this toolbox right here is going to be our shop toolbox. Everything in it is provided by us for the technicians. So when I get that brand new technician, he doesn't need a single thing to come to work. Next to that, that's my head tech, Josh. That's his workstation. And again, we don't have a lot of storage here, so we have to put them where we can. That's the only downfall to here, but it's made to wrench. So these are, again, broken by technicians. When we get to the end down here, we get to our larger lifts and where we have Lauren's right there working on the truck. He's my diesel mechanic. And then my fleet guy and the guy next to him was my apprentice, Ben, who's in our apprentice program.
Glad to hear that.
So this is where we pull in our big box trucks, our RVs. This is our heavy duty lift with Lawrence's station right behind. And then next to him, we have my ASE master, Scott. So he wanted a back corner. That's what he got. He does a little bit of everything. And he's got an assistant helping him over there, Brandon. So those are Scott's bays there. Then we have the tire bay. Now we're going to go to the back half. And this is set up for basically my lube guy, my alignment guy, everything they needs back here. So we do a lot of our quick lube stuff back here. And you'll see in a minute, obviously all the oil's back here, and we're going to have a wall of filters in just a second. And then we have our alignment machine. So here is, again, I stock a lot. So
Wow, big place.
we have a ton of air filters,
I
oil
see that.
filters, fuel filters. And down low, we have fleet brakes.
And so the reason to have the filters, I mean, kind of almost set up like a quick lube, is it something you do a lot of, or is it you need them for the fleets in and out, keep them churning?
No, we do a lot of them. So
Okay.
we sell more than my local store could probably stock in a week.
Got it.
So air filters will probably go through 25 to 30 in a week. One of my accounts is a used car dealer. They specialize in newer vehicles. Every car that comes in for an inspection basically almost always gets oil change and air filter.
Are you using digital vehicle inspections?
Absolutely.
Good for you. I don't know about you, Michael, but she said something a few minutes ago that really rocked my world. Christy said, made to wrench. And I loved it. I mean, she said, we designed this plate. It's made to wrench.
It is. It looks very, very, very well laid out.
It's made to wrench. I love it. Great tour, Christy. Beautiful, beautiful business. Wow. I had no idea. And you guys are working on your third.
Yes, and when that's done, we would love to give you a tour of that.
We would love it.
Absolutely.
We would love it. How many bays is that going to be?
That one's 18.
Holy cow.
And that also has some big truck bays in it. So,
well, apparently the Hudsons don't know how to do anything small. Oh my God! Well, that was great. Hey, we had a great tour of a beautiful business. Love all the great accoutrements in the design, and the work environment, and it's made to wrench. I love that part. And of course, we talked to Michael about what customers bring in their own parts, and what his and Christy's position is on that, which I think 99.9% of the rest of the aftermarket is like that. We're going to repurpose this show as a podcast. It'll come out Saturday morning. You can watch it on YouTube right now. And it's always good to have you guys hanging out with us as we repurpose this as a podcast. Next week, Craig Noel from Sun Automotive is going to not only be my guest host, but we're going to get the shop tour from him. And we appreciate that. And look at... thank you so much to Michael Galini from Your Auto Shop, Plano, Texas, and Christy Hudson from Troy Auto Care in Troy, Michigan. Guys, thanks for coming on board and spending some great time with us and sharing your wisdom and your place. Have a great week. Have a great week.
Thank you.